So here we are covering value-driven delivery in Scrum versus the traditional project. So this is the difference in Agile, that we are always keeping whatever the prioritized backlog, those need to be picked first. If we will coming to the traditional projects, there is no prioritization of requirements based on business value. They are fixed requirements and regular changes are discouraged and value realized at the end of the project. However, prioritized requirements based on the business value are delivered to customers. These risks and changes will be allowed to stakeholders to reprioritize after each sprint. Realize value quickly by creating the shippable product increment at end of every sprint. There will be quality. Quality is a very important or interesting topic, whereas in terms of quality concern is there in Agile, there is start from the requirement aspects. There should be a proper acceptance criteria and business values should be defined by the customers. Acceptance criteria are the objective components by each user stories functionality is judged. Acceptance criteria should be explicitly outlined and conditioned that user story must satisfy. So here from the requirement perspective, also when the requirement validation is there, in terms of retrospective and demo is there, it's validating at multiple aspects where the qualities can be controlled. There will be a Japanese techniques PDCA, which is usually used in the uh, here, which is PDCA is the create prioritize backlog, create user stories, then do is create deliverables and conduct daily stand-up. Check-in study is something like demonstrate the valid and validate sprint retrospect, and then ship and deliver the retrospective project. So this is the Japanese techniques, which is highly productive and this is utilized. There will be a change management process where each change on the defined scope could be firstly went to the some CCB board, which is could be an internal or external, either project manager, scrum master, or product owner can approve, and then those approved change request is coming in the story backlog or epic backlog, and then can be planned in respective sprint, which is defined by the product owner and scrum masters. There will be change management process. Suppose this is very interesting condition when you are running some of the important tasks and in middle of it some very urgent task came and urgent development is requested. So at that time we need to cancel the sprint and restart with the planning with new dates, and then this can be planned so that such emergency situation can be checked up. Then there will be a risk management. Risk is defined as a uncertain event or the set of event that can affect the objectives of a project, may contribute to its success or failure. Actually, risk are uh, some of the even we can say that it could be either a threat or opportunity, and which can really impact the project. And so here, if we could say uh, these are the risk first steps to manage the risk identification using various techniques to identify risk assessment, evaluating and estimating the risk, how much time it will consume, what will be their impact, then prioritizing those risks, that which risk would be taken care first, which can be second, and which are the low risk mitigation is developing a strategy to deal with these risks and making a plan, and then informing everybody that these are the risks and we are working on this, and so that everybody should be transparent enough for these such type of risk. This is scrum phases we are discussing now, and before discussing the scrum these phases, I would like to explain firstly uh, scrum principle first, because these are very interesting, and then the summary we will cover those phases of the scrum. So these are scrum principles. First is iterative development, empirical process control, self-organization, collaboration, time boxing and value based prioritization. We will discuss one by one. There are Scrum principles which is very much base of the scrums, and this should be followed by each and everybody in the team to have these working principles and working agile. This is actually empirical process control, which actually depend on three important aspects, which covering transparency, inspection, and adoption. And actually, we are creating few of the artifacts when we are initiating the project, which is project vision statements, prioritize backlog, and release planning schedule. And this is the transparency that sprint meetings and daily stand-up meetings should be transparent. There will be few information which will be shared to everyone, like burn down chart and Scrum board. Then this is the inspection where we can say that how we are doing. Actually, when epics and stories are planned in the sprint, there will be a final inspection which can cover up the and to validate the sprint. It's covered the scrum in scrum board, we can say the progress, and when we are demonstrating to the client, we are getting the true feedbacks joke that can be noted down. Coming to the this is the basic thing that how we are adapting. Each person should be adaptable for these type of documentation or artifacts and the processes, which covering daily stand-ups, constant risk identification, change request management, scrum guidance body, retrospective sprint meetings, and retrospective project meetings. Then self-organization. Each member in the Scrum team should be self-motivated, and so that they can deliver some high value. Self-organization, like they should know what is the progress of the project, where what exactly they need to deliver, what's the overall project. So these all things should they know. Leadership style is servant leadership, where leaders should work with team, and whenever they are having issues or problems, they can serve them in a way that those persons can be recovered from such bottlenecks and the risks. Self-organization uh, goals are, there is some cross-functional team expertise. They proactively seek the work, they can execute work themselves, open for the new things, continuously upgrade and knowledge skills, deliver tangible results, and understand the project vision. Iterative versus, so our agile is iterative, like each we are defining the whole whole project scope in some of the sprints, and those will be delivered in the chunks, not like that the whole requirement in one chunk and then we are developing. There will be collaboration, so co-located teams can use with these techniques, face-to-face interaction, decision rooms and war rooms, scrum boards, wall display, and shared tables. Then collaboration in Scrum refers to the like each core team working together, interfacing with stakeholders to create and validate the delivers to meet the goals outlines in the project vision. There will be distributed teams where someone is working in remote, some are working in the some other locations. So video conferencing, instant messaging, chat, social media, shared screens, and software version scrum boards uh, can be utilized. Value-based prioritization, like so user story should have two columns. There is priority and severity, and priority drives the based on the milestone, product owners, and customer agency they are defining, and based on that these should be derived and business release planning could be done. Then time boxing. In Scrum, we are every time utilizing that which particular part like Scrum should be time boxed, and each Scrum like should be covered in. time box nature, like each sprint is having 15 to 21 days, and you need to cover those sprints within a time. So this is the time boxing. Coming to the scrum phases, because this is the right time that we can discuss those. So I'm covering this as well.